What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dual Screens podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Fontana, and with me, as always, maybe I'm the one that's not always with him because it has been a while since I've been on the show, Andy. It's Andy S. Mackis. How you doing, Andy?
You got to rework that intro.
Well, why is that?
Say on the show that I have. You're a guest today on the show.
Yeah. Well, listen, folks.
We have two guests on the show today.
Listen, folks, I'm back, and Andy cannot keep me away from my own damn show, and that is not going to happen. No, folks, Andy did a lot of interviews at times that I am just simply at work, and Andy was able to do it. So if you got some 1v1 with Andy over the last month or so, that is why. And he recorded a whole lot of episodes between December and now. So that's kind of where we're at. But this week, we are joined by Or Avrahamy, co-founder of Gentle Giant Games, a developer of the upcoming action roguelike Smash-like Spiritfall. Welcome to the show, Or. How are you doing?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, you're excited. You admittedly were nervous, but there's nothing to be nervous about. All of our listeners know what they're in for, and that is the Dual Screens podcast, the internet's #1 indie gaming interview podcast, hosted by people you've never heard of. So really, there's no pressure. If you want to support us on Patreon, it's so simple. Go to patreon.com/dual screens. Excuse me, we changed that. Just like our Patreon producers, Colton the Apprentice Nestler and FNH Paul, we cannot continue to grow without all of your support, so we do appreciate it. And of course, you could buy some really cool, fun t-shirt designs, dualscreens.com/store, if you feel like supporting us there. Andy, I'm gonna tee it up for you, bud. It's time to get into the show. It's time to get into the meat and potatoes with our ceremonial first question.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I forgot how to interview. No, I'm kidding. I have no actual question for you, Or. I just want to say thank you for being a part of our very first indie game showcase last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was incredible.
You made an amazing little trailer for us that made us all agog and excited. So thank you so much for being part of the magic. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having us. Every opportunity like this is really important for us.
Yeah, now you're in Steam Next Fest. So look at that. That's the Dual Screens bump. So
that's it. That's what
happens.
That was definitely what caused it, and it had nothing to do with the quality of your game. But
not at all.
For those who don't know what Spiritfall is, why don't you give everybody a quick little elevator pitch of what is Spiritfall?
Okay. So Spiritfall is a 2D action roguelike inspired by platform fighters. Our more recent tagline is a roguelike Smash-like, a Smash-like roguelike.
Yeah.
So it's inspired by games such as Hades for the roguelike inspiration, and Super Smash Brothers or Brawlhalla Multiverses for the platform fighter side. Yeah, so it's like if you're a platform fighter fan, then you would probably maybe enjoy a single player experience with the similar combat mechanics. And if you're a roguelike fan, then you get some kind of new type of combat system to play around with in a roguelike setting.
Yeah, I didn't so I'm really bad at this game. I'm just gonna say that off the bat.
me too, by the way.
And I couldn't figure out.
No, I've seen your little Twitter montages. Don't stop with that
that's
shit.
Not me, actually. I mean,
you and your perfect run clearing videos. I see you.
Every Thursday we have a playtest, internal playtest. We create a build and send it out to everyone, and we play at the same time. And I'm always like, okay, I almost reached the first boss this time. And everyone's like, oh, I finished 2 runs already.
So I couldn't figure out why I was so bad at the game, but then I got up to there was like that bonus rift thing where you have to knock the enemy off the screen. Exactly, it's totally Smash inspired, and I realized, oh, that's why I'm so bad, because it is a Smash-like, which I am awful at. I am so bad at Smash Brothers, it's ridiculous. So, but that doesn't deter me from wanting to keep pushing forward, because you do a lot of cool stuff with the rogue elements, unlocking abilities, collecting these like tablets and scrolls, and being able to upgrade some abilities. I really liked. Your demo has a couple of weapons. You start with it's a hammer, I believe. And you could also get these like punching glove, these 4 gloves that punch the hell out of things,
The-
and
the
which I
hammer
really
axe,
liked.
the battle hammer axe, and the sisterhood gauntlets.
Yeah, the gauntlets. Yeah, I really enjoyed the gauntlets. Why don't you go into a little bit on the varying styles of the weapons? Because I think there was there's the bow as well, but that was really all you showed in the demo, and the bow was locked for the demo. Are there other options that we're gonna have, or is it just the three off the bat? And what went
Yeah.
into the different styles of play?
So the bow was actually a part. It was available for beta players. Anyone that signed up and played our betas. We had the 3 betas. So in the early access version, we're gonna have the 3 weapons, and we're planning, hopefully, if everything goes well, and it really depends on the reception of the game during early access is critical for us. So if everything goes well, we can be able to create everything that we planned. We are planning a few more weapons, and hopefully we'll get a chance to add them.
So
Regarding the differences between them,
yeah,
so that's actually something I didn't say, like my role in the team. So I'm the co-founder and programmer, and my co-founder is Nadav. Is the creative genius. He's doing the game design, art direction, creative direction, and sound design, the music, sound effects, all of that. So he's really into all of those combat mechanics, and he's doing all those perfect runs that you see on our socials.
Side note, Steven, that's you and I when we start our own game company. We'll co-found it. I want one job, and you can have like 6.
Wait, listen, I don't see anybody else doing this interview. So as far as I'm concerned, Or is the main player in this game. Okay,
It's true. So you're
Alright.
a developer, programmer, and you're PR.
That's
Your
it.
mouthpiece.
See, you're
ta-
PR.
you're
Yeah.
We
talking
actually
head.
have a community and marketing manager as well.
Well, they failed because they're not here and you are. All right. So yeah, I mean the weapons they play differently. Where the gauntlet I felt like they had a little bit more reach on your combo, like it kind of went through some enemies, you're able to hit a couple more, so it's a lot faster.
Yeah.
Obviously the hammer just does a buco amount of damage when you really are swinging your heavy attacks and whatnot. It's a lot of fun, but essentially one of the issues that we actually were speaking about the game on our last Indies Nuts podcast, where we were going over I think we covered like 30 Next Fest demos, and one of the issues that we had was how claustrophobic some of these arenas feel, and the amount of enemies that are on the playing field. But I as I continued to play, I started to realize, like, I think that's on purpose. I think you're kind of being overwhelmed on purpose, especially in the beginning before you start really unlocking some permanent boosts. Because by my 5th or 6th run, I started to really knock these guys around and being able to juggle more enemies and understand the importance of your dash. Even though it's so claustrophobic, the dash can get you out of a lot of trouble in close quarters. Can you speak a little bit about the decision to have such close quarters in the combat?
So the dash is your friend, definitely, and because you don't have, except for the hidden rift parts where you actually can knock out the Blightborns there. We didn't want to do that like insta kill when you fling an enemy out of the ring. So what we did instead is you can wall splat enemies. So you fling them off the walls and you do extra damage to them. And also when they're close together, you can hit multiple enemies with one swing. So if you know how to play well, you can cluster enemies together and do a massive amount of damage at the same time.
I think it's designed in a way that it wants you to show off a little bit and be a little flashy, because a lot like Steve, I suck at Smash Brothers and I want to be good at Smash, and this game makes me feel like I could be good at Smash a little bit. But again, I think to Steven's point, when I first played this demo, I too had the same, like, why are the rooms so confined and small? But then after a while, I was just crushing shit left and right, and it was so flashy and intense, and the design made more sense as I played more and more of the demo.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we really didn't want to have you chasing the enemies around and looking for them in the big room.
yeah,
We actually did consider having more like a Metroidvania style map where you
Oh,
move between rooms and you can backtrack. But we want the gameplay to feel more uh, faster, have a quicker pace. Go to rooms faster, not spend time just looking around for that's something that you might have missed in the earlier room.
yeah. I like the timing a lot. I like the fact that you can go in, and if you're really good, you could clear a room in like 30 seconds. Just really knock it out. One of the things I was that I'd like to kind of see. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it, or I'm just not paying attention. But I'd like to know how many waves I have to clear. I think that would be really helpful for my brain to know like how risky I want to be in a fight.
when is it over?
Just like, okay, there's one more. I got to be conservative. I have, 50 health. I got to be careful. I know at the end of this, I'm getting a 50% or a 25 health boost. So I could, that's kind of the risk and reward there. So like, I'm just like, oh man, there's a third wave in this one. Why is there a third wave? Nobody told me there's a third wave. And I'm like, God damn, I shouldn't have taken those risks.
Make
But
it a perk or an item and call it Fontana Vision. And when you get it, you see how many waves are coming at you.
That's a good idea, actually.
we'll call it dual vision, Duel vision. It'll be a nice little homage to dual screens, dual
man.
vision. You see that?
So good.
Yeah, nobody needs to know that I had anything to do with that. But yeah, I love I also love the branching paths and kind of understanding how you want to make your build, because the way the combat works is you have your fast attacks, and then you have your heavy attacks, which could be used to launch the enemies, which in some, like, I love using the ice powers. I go straight for ice because I like to be able to slow them down, because I'm slow as molasses. So it helps me if they're slower. So being able to, so you do your powerful juggle attack, and you could augment it where you'll freeze them in the air. So then you could get up and really like juggle them around a little bit, slam them down into other enemies. And then you have a ranged attack. It's basically a missile that you can augment in different ways. If you're using the ice, it's kind of like a little ice grenade that will explode on contact and freeze things around it. You can increase the damage of them all. But I really liked this. I think it was I think it was yellow, but it was like a spinning blade. Yeah, that kept moving forward. It's like a whirlwind.
Yeah, that's the stag.
Yeah, the stag, right. And it kept moving forward and doing, constant damage. But that was a really cool way of interrupting their attacks and protecting yourself from their ranged attacks. And then I would jump over them to the other side of them and hit them through it, forward through the projectile, which was really cool. You start to feel really powerful. Like I said in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, I'm terrible at this. But as you continue to go on, as you're unlocking these different abilities and different ways of juggling enemies, it becomes a lot of fun. And then the boss just absolutely just curb stomps me, just beats the piss out of me. So I have, as soon as this interview's over, I'm going back in. I'm going to try and beat her ass. But yeah,
you'll reach the second boss.
I don't want to talk about a second boss. Let me get through the first one. Okay. Let me just get through boss number one, who I went into my first fight. I was like, oh, damn. I had 30 hit points, 30. Okay. I had 30. So it wasn't going well. I got her like, I don't know, a quarter of the way down. And then I'm sure she has a second phase or something like that. That's really going to just step on my nuts, but whatever. I digress.
We're actually now working on the boss of the third region, and it's so cool. I can't say anything about it. There's a surprise there. That's something that I can say, and we're keeping it only after like our players, our community already figure out this surprise, and then we're gonna use the hell out of it for marketing.
Oh yeah. Is it Master Hand, but it's a pig hand, and you call it Master Ham?
No, that's actually one of the ideas that we scrapped out.
Well, I do want to ask a more broader question on the demo because we were talking before the show started about how folks thought that the demo was very beefy
Mhm.
for a demo. So, what has been the overall feedback you've gotten since you've put this thing as a part of Nextfest? How is it? Because now you're in, you're launching early access on March 7th, so it's basically a few weeks away. How is that changing things in the office and as you approach the home stretch of launching into early access now?
Yeah. So first of all, there's a lot of panic going on.
Oh no.
Uh, it's like making a game is so stressful.
Yay.
And it's our first game as a studio. We've never released something in this kind of magnitude as individuals as well. So we're super excited, super nervous. But regarding the demo, as I said, we had a few betas before that, and for the betas, we gave the players everything that we had because we wanted to test everything. So they got like the everything that was implemented. And for the demo, we said, okay, now we're gonna change strategy because it's a demo. It's supposed to be something that will entice players to get the full game. And it was really hard to, for example, to um, keep the bow out of the demo because we wanted everyone to see how awesome the game is. It was really hard to decide what we want to include. We didn't cut anything at the end except for the bow. We're really bad at this kind of thing, so we just want people to play the game and enjoy what we make. So the feedback that we got is that this is like a demo, so it's like not really in a demo scope. It's like very big, and people have already told us that they've played it for hours. Um,
It's the full game without the credits. That's what it is, right? That's what you said.
yeah, yeah.
It,
Of course, it's going to be a lot bigger at the full release. For early access, we're going to add a bunch of stuff, and through early access, we're going to add a lot more.
so you mentioned earlier that it's based on the success of early access, what adding weapons or increasing your scope or things that you wanted to add. What does early access success look like for you guys? Is it a sales thing? Is it, simply a monetary thing, or is it a steady increase in your community, the player base kind of growing, no matter how small it started as, but if it's as long as the numbers keep going up, it's something that you would look at as a success?
Yeah, there are like so many different ways to define success in a game. So in our situation, because we're self-publishing and we're self-funding the company, so it's more of a monetary thing. We have all of these projections about like how the first week of sales goes and how it probably relates to the entire lifetime revenues from the game. And from that we can project like how much this game is going to earn. And so uh, so yeah, if we're going to see that the game is doing really well and there's more time to work on the game, then we can add some more stuff, more than we planned. If we'll see that the game is not making enough money, we have to I mean, our goal when we started this studio is just to keep making computer games and console games. Before that, we used to work in mobile games. That's our previous experience. We worked for mobile games for 10 years, and we said like we're not doing mobile anymore. I mean, there's a lot of mobile companies here, so it's really easy to find. Not really easy, but it's for us it will be easy to go back to work in a mobile company. And there's not a lot of indie studios here making PC and console games. So no matter what, we're gonna make the studio survive. So if you see that the game is not very well received, we're gonna have to cut back on some things and maybe get a publisher for the next game. Yeah.
I think that's I think just the quality of the product that you guys are putting out is going to catch some eyes of, you know, publishers and other talent that may want to make something with you next time. I don't think you really need to worry about that kind of thing, because like I mean, not every game is going to hit with everybody, but there's an obvious quality here that I think speaks volumes for the talent that you guys have. And I look forward to seeing how this affects the studio at Gentle Giant. Because I think you guys have something really cool here.
Yeah, we always go from being like optimistic and seeing all of the positive feedback that we get to being like, okay, we have to be real. What if it doesn't succeed? We need to have a plan B and a plan C and a plan D. And yeah, we're trying to get our hopes up, because like we feel like it's our first baby. It's we really want it to succeed.
Sure. Yeah.
How did you land on these two genres to put together? Because, you know, there's a lot of roguelike games. I feel you go back, you know, a handful of years, there wasn't that many in this genre. Now there's just an oversaturation of it. Why this genre, and why pair it with a Smash Brothers like combat style? Where did all that come from?
Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons for that. The simplest one is just that we were really enjoying roguelikes when we started working together. Nadav has been playing Hades for such a long time. He was completing like 60 runs or something like that already. And he gave me his Switch to try the game, and I just didn't return it. So really enjoying Hades, and recently I've been playing Going Under and some other roguelikes. But at the time, there was also a resurgence of platform fighters. Multiverses, I think, was just announced or released, I don't remember, a year and a half ago. And yeah, so we thought it could be really fun to stir things up, spin it, give it a spin, and merge these two genres into one.
Yeah, because it has that like speedrunner vibe to it too, which I kind of like. Like, I want to clear rooms as fast as I possibly can.
Yeah. We released the demo a bit ahead of Next Fest, and I mean, our community is so awesome. Like, everything that we plan, they already suggest before we announce it. So we plan to announce a speedrunning contest of the demo when Next Fest starts, and people are already sending out screenshots with their best times before we announced it.
Oh, you love it.
Oh yeah, they're all doing some crazy speedruns.
I mean, that must be nice for you, because, you know, you're not so good at your own game, which I find. Yeah. Steven, there's hope for us. We can make a game and suck at our own game, and it'll be totally fine.
Man, I have the trailer and the other screenshots that you got up on Steam kind of looping.
Isn't it
on our
just
little
so
overlay.
Gorgeous?
Like, it really
I can't
is.
get over the art style of this game.
Yeah, it's familiar, but it has its own flashy flavor to it. I love the animation when you die. I don't know, it just looks so cool. Which I saw over and over and over again. So I'm really.
And doesn't that make sense though? You'd want that in a game like this.
Yeah, definitely. You want dying to be fun in a roguelike.
Yeah,
fun and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah. So I gotta give a shout out to our artists. Yali is our animator. We actually found him. We recruited him to the team straight out of his final year exhibition in animation school.
Oh, okay.
But he already had 10 years of experience in animation, because instead of going to high school, he went to study animation in animation college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Omer is our concept artist. He's really amazing, and he studied with me in animation school. And it was really fun seeing him improve over the years and building his skill and talent. And now we finally have a chance to work together, so it's super fun.
You mentioned before about there not being a big PC and console gaming scene where you are.
Yeah.
Where are you? Where is the here?
Yeah, so we're actually a
There it is.
remote team. We're spread across Israel,
Mhm.
France, and Scotland.
Oh,
And so,
Wow.
but I was referring to Israel. There's not a lot of indie studios here, and not a lot of there's no major companies doing PC and console games.
Mhm.
So it's
why do
really
you think that is?
um I don't know. I think um yeah, it's hard to say. I think that people I mean, when you're doing a PC or console game as an indie, as a small team, or if you don't have the skills for it, like the 300 people to make a AAA game and the
Mhm.
talent for that, and um, your best case scenario is making a game that makes like I don't know, $2 million a year if it's a really good game. And in mobile games, you can make this much money in a week if you have
That's
something that is
so sad that that's true.
yeah, crazy.
Is there
So
also do you also think that there's a barrier to entry with that, like getting dev kits and getting the equipment to actually
getting the
create these
equipment
games?
actually, I don't think it's so difficult. I mean, I have friends that already did that. Um, I think it's more like I think that the quality that people expect from games on Steam specifically, for example, and also obviously the consoles and all of the more curated stores is super high.
Mhm.
You have to really know what you're doing, and you need to be playing games to know what works. And on mobile, I mean, uh, everyone played Candy Crush. I mean, everyone's playing from kids to elderly on mobile games. So
So you're like pioneers. You're like,
yeah,
yay, more pressure.
yeah, definitely.
Hooray, stress.
Yeah.
So, how much of your roadmap for Spiritfall, how much of your roadmap is already sort of, I don't want to say completed, but like content completed, and how much of going forward is something that you still have yet to really start? Like, is there anything that your community knows about that you didn't really? It's just kind of a pipe dream, um, and you don't have to go into specifically what these things are, but um, these roguelike games, and obviously you said it's based on success, and we defined what that means, but what does the roadmap look like for you if you find that success? What kind of things are you going do you plan to or want to add,
Mhm.
aside from just more weapons, maybe you know different enemy types? Is there a different character or a whole new world
Yeah.
altogether? Like, what kind of things are you looking at?
So as always, our community already guessed a few of those things or offered or suggested those. Um, but yeah, we want to add more weapons and more content, more of everything that's already there, and also we got ideas for several mechanics that we'd like to include. Also, some end game features. I really can't say anything about those
Sure,
things.
sure, sure.
Man, I would be such an asshole game developer. Like if my community guessed things I was working, I would just scrap it all together. I'd be like, nah, you're wrong.
Now you don't get it.
That's not at all what I was gonna do with my game. Spite.
It's actually a really good thing because you know that they will like it. So that's great.
There are
Or you
certain
can say I did it for you guys. Like that's a great idea. Here it is.
yeah.
It's already
See
done.
how quickly we did it? We weren't working on it for 6 months, I swear. I mean, this sort of style has kind of lends itself to a lot of different styles of play. Like you can do a boss rush in this game. You could do an endless wave game to see how many waves you can clear. Like there are so many different ways that you could extend the life of this.
What are some of the ideas that were brought up in the community, in the Discord
Sure.
community?
Well, listen, or it's the low hanging fruit. Okay. Your community is picking the low hanging fruit. If they want really, really interesting ideas, all right, they're going to have to go straight to you. You're the brain trust here. You got all the crazy ideas. I know you got something cooking up. You're going to turn this into a flight simulator. I know it. Spirit Fly. That's what it's going to be called. Spirit Fly. And it's just
Spiritfall.
Yeah.
You are the most ridiculous human being
I'm
that ever was.
smart and you know it. I'm a genius.
I hate how fun that sounds, though.
A flight simulator?
You know, no, like if this game turned into that, like it's so insane, but like maybe it could work. I don't know.
Listen, we've seen IP that have stretched far beyond anything we've ever thought that they could, as far as spin-offs. And I mean, look at Shovel Knight, right? Like who'd have thought Shovel Knight would have like 4 genre and the character being like 27 game. He's showing up in Spiritfall. You know it, right? You know Shovel Knight's showing up in Spiritfall at some point. It's happening. It's going to be a weapon. You're going to get the shovel. The shovel is going to be a weapon. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first on Dual Screens podcast.
Don't expose all our secrets.
He's in it's not really hard to guess. I mean, he's in everything. That damn Shovel Knight has showed up in more games than I care to even discuss. We're almost at our rapid fire segment here, Andy. We're almost there. Man. So you got a couple of more pressing questions that you'd like to ask?
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, it goes back to the idea of just how do you tackle the roguelike genre in a sea of so many roguelikes and make yours stand out and say, this is the one that I want you to invest your time. Because I feel the more games I play lately, I'm spending a lot more time with roguelikes. And it's scary, Steven. It's very scary how much the genre has taken over my whole life. But like when the right one clicks, I just stick with it. So how do you make yours stand out among so many other games?
Basically I'm telling Nadav to go sit in a room for a few hours alone, and he comes up with amazing ideas. But no, really, it's when we started out, there weren't so many roguelikes out there. I mean, Hades just came out, and not just came out, but it came out in some, Skull came out when we started.
Skull's a great one.
Yeah.
Very underrated too, Skull, I feel. Like it has a good audience, but no one talks about that game at all, which is criminal.
Yeah, I think it's very popular in Asia. So we just thought that we came up with this mashup of a single player platform fighter or a roguelike platform fighter, and at least I thought that like we can just do our best, make a good game, make it fun. We've done a lot of action games in the past, so we knew that we can make fun action games, and we brought on some awesome people, and we really didn't know that it's gonna turn out so well. But I remember that when we just started making the prototype, I was coding, and Nadav was sitting next to me trying out the game, and he was like giggling to himself when he was trying out the prototype, and like that's when I felt like, okay, if Nadav it's really hard to enjoy playing a game that you came up with and you made while you're so stressed about making the prototype that will actually work. So when I heard him like laughing and giggling to himself, I knew that we have something fun. And yeah, it changed so much from then and improved so much. So
that's amazing. What last question before we move on to the very fun rapid fire portion of the interview. What What was the one thing you learned most about yourself when you went over from developing mobile games for 10 years and now full on indie dev into the console and PC space?
Um, well, um, when I worked in mobile for 10 years, it was actually in a team that I co-founded as well. But I took more of a backseat. I wasn't the CEO. And I really never thought that I will lead this kind of operations. I already have my own company that um, I mean, being a programmer as a co-founder when someone else is doing all of the managerial stuff, CEOing, it's very different than starting out your own company and you're leading everything. Uh, I'm a pretty introvert guy, and I mean, just sitting here doing this interview is something that I never thought that I will be able to do. So I think that's something that I learned. I learned that I can still surprise myself with the thing that I'm capable of.
It's a really good answer. I love that.
All right, Andy. It's time to get into
boy.
rapid fire.
Oh,
And
boy.
I'm gonna try not to ask questions we've asked before. I'm gonna try and keep things a little different. But I'm gonna ask derivatives of some of our questions. Or if you were a superhero, what would your power be?
That's something that I'm thinking about a lot, actually. Something that I really enjoyed thinking when I was young. And it's really tough. I think maybe controlling time.
That's a
Very
big
important.
responsibility.
Yeah, man.
I'm always
not that
scared
I
about
like to
that.
actually physically move time all the time. Just like when I
Yeah.
want to pause it, rewind it, or fast forward it.
Okay. So not well, I guess rewinding it, you are going back in time, but it's more like you're rewinding your own actions as well. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of just, but you keep the knowledge going for. That's interesting.
I would just pause time,
yeah,
nap,
I
and then
think-
resume time.
100% is what I would do if I could control time. If some supreme being said, I will let you rewind time, pause time, or fast forward time. What do you want? I'd be like, pause 1,000,000%.
That's it.
Like,
Mhm.
just, I want to sleep and go to work. I want to go to work every day, fully rested, like 15 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no like,
Every day.
paradox risks, you're not
Yeah.
fucking with any timelines or your own existence. You just pause it, you take a siesta, and you come back and the time flow just, goes on natural progression.
Yeah, but if you have to, if you can make up your own rules, then obviously time still goes on for you. I mean, you can still do stuff when time is paused,
Right.
and maybe you can also interact with things if you touch them. So you can like read a book or
Right. The
maybe-
butterfly effect.
But I guess you can't play games because there's no electricity.
Right.
I mean, the
only-
game is paused,
Well,
and you would just sleep.
the biggest problem I think you have is, this is rapid fire, folks. The biggest problem you have is that you will continue to age while others will not.
Oh yeah.
So the more you pause time, the older you're going to be,
Mm-hmm.
the quicker and older.
We
Okay.
did not think this.
Andy,
through.
get us out of this paradox,
All
please.
right. If you could have an infinite supply of one thing, what would that one thing be? Don't say
I can
time.
go back to time.
No.
It's a time.
Mm. If the only way that you could survive was to eat one of these two things exclusively, which one would you eat? Skin or hair?
I think skin.
Yeah, I think skin too.
Salty,
Uh-huh.
maybe nutritious.
Self-cannibalize?
You sometimes you like chew on your own skin a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah, cuticles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Would you rather be the smartest person in the room or the funniest person in the room?
Oh, that's tough. I think the funniest. Yeah, actually, it's not. It's an easy question. Yeah.
Mm.
That's how I feel too. All right, next, Steven, you're next.
I was
If
really worried about this rapid fire section, and it's easy so far.
no, it's super easy. What would you rather give up? Like you could snap your finger and it's gone from the earth.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather give up all weapons? So any weapon, physical weapon, guns, knives, swords, bombs, all of that, missiles, all of it gone in the snap of a finger. Or snap of the finger, the internet goes away.
Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weapons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seems easy.
I feel like if you do the internet, the weapons will go away anyway.
You think?
Like people will just
Yeah.
stop talking to each other.
More of them would come up, I feel.
People will just stop talking to each other. Like
If you take away internet porn, they'll make more guns, Steven.
Yeah.
We need distractions. I hate this question,
Oh,
but I
boy.
love it also at the same time.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather have all gold teeth or missing half of your teeth? And half, like the top half or the bottom half. You can't be like Gappy Magoo. It's either one or the other,
Wow, that's weird. Okay.
right?
Can you get new teeth after you lose your originals?
You want to sell your gold teeth and get some veneers
That's actually good. Yeah, I want to have gold teeth so then
so you can sell them.
after I leave this scary magician that made me lose all my teeth and make them gold, I can just sell the gold and get
Mm,
dentals.
okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be able to urinate pure, completely 100% filtered water? So you just create water with your pee, like no ammonia, nothing. It's completely
wa-
filtered.
The part of
Or
water world.
or would you rather pee pure refined gasoline?
Water. I think water.
Think about how much money you can make with
I
pure
don't know,
gasoline.
man. You could
I'm not gonna pee into my cow. It doesn't sound.
listen. You could have you could fund a lot of games with some gas pee money.
That's what I'm saying.
true, yeah.
You could fund your
It wouldn't
dreams.
matter how successful Spiritfall is. You could just piss money, man.
Painful. It's not like it burns.
I think the guys that made Hades piss money. That's
I think
that's
yeah.
how well that game did. If you were challenged to a rap battle or a dance battle, which one would you win at or be the best at?
I would suck at both of them.
Which would you suck the least at?
If everyone was really bad, then I have a chance to win a dance-off, maybe.
Okay.
I think everyone has a chance to win a dance off depending on how ridiculous you can dance.
Mhm.
Like if you
Mhm.
could just go so far in the opposite direction of just being completely ridiculous, people will love it and you could possibly win.
You'll end up as a viral TikTok video.
Exactly. Exactly. You wake up and you are in a room you've never seen. You don't know what happened. There is a phone next to you, a cell phone, and it has one contact in that cell phone. You have no idea what happened. One contact is in that cell phone. What contact do you hope that is?
Jigsaw.
I'm not asking you, Andy.
Why am I here?
I think my wife, just to tell her like what's going on and maybe she knows something.
What have you done to me?
I honestly think my wife would be like one of the last people because she would be so unhelpful. There would be zero help that she could offer me if I was stuck somewhere. She would just blame me.
She'd be mad at you
Yeah.
for being in that position.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, I'd probably do the same to her. Like if she called me, I was like, "What do you mean you don't know where you are? What? It doesn't make sense."
I can't help you, woman.
Call literally anyone else. I can't. I don't know where you are. That'd be the worst.
Or if you had the chance to work to take a beloved classic, huge, iconic franchise
Yes.
and develop a game for it, which franchise would that be?
I'm not really big on franchise games.
It's okay. Anything that you think maybe needs a sequel or something? If they said, hey, or you can make a game for this, what is your this?
I mean, there was a game that I really enjoyed when I was little, and I don't know if anyone knows what it. I mean, most of the people I told them about this game don't know about it. It's called Beasts and Bumpkins. It's like a city builder with simulation.
Beasts and Bumpkins?
Beasts and Bumpkins.
Never heard of this game before.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
We gotta look that shit up.
we know what we're doing.
I
I've played a lot of
legit thought
games.
he was gonna say Kickle Cubicle for a second, Steve.
Yeah, Kickle Cubicle. That's one of mine, baby. Let's
Beasts
go.
and Bumpkin. All right.
Beasts
Making
and
a-
Bumpkins.
Making a note.
Okay. Let's think here. I'll do one more, and then Andy, you'll do our ceremonial final question.
Okay.
Let me think.
Make it a good one.
Do you want me to go absurd or just hard to like?
More absurd than gold teeth and being trapped in a room with
Okay.
a cell phone that calls your
And I'm gonna try
calls
not
your
to.
unloving wife.
I'm gonna try not to make it bodily function related. Usually when I go absurd, it
Oh,
goes to
yeah.
bodily functions. Actually, I'm going to do an old question, but just because I think it's a really fun question, and it usually gets a good response.
All right.
Would you rather discover a faraway planet or discover a lost civilization in our oceans?
Wow. In our oceans, yeah, lots of civilization. That's super cool.
A diversion here, Andy, before you go. Did you see
Sure.
that they found primitive tools from like 2 million years ago?
Underwater?
They unearthed, like
So-
they found I think it was a mammoth or something like that skeleton that was dissected. It was like it was pieced apart, and tools to do it were near the body, and they figured them to be 2 million years old.
So I think this is why I'd rather find life that's far, far away.
Yeah.
Because it's far, far away.
Uh-huh.
Because we don't know what the fuck's in the ocean, dude. That thing is like a big black gaping abyss, and we're standing on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let it be light years away where it can't touch me.
But you're going to be there to discover it, though. Like,
Sure.
you're going to that planet.
Sure, it's fine.
Interstellar, like.
I'll
I
go
still
there.
haven't seen that movie. I have no idea.
I get
how
to
it
come
works.
back. I get to go and come back.
Sure.
I
We're
think
safe.
it's a lot scarier. I mean, you're there and you don't know, like, if they were just waiting for you to find them, and they can
Yeah, I
can
think
make you quicker than the lost civilization in the ocean can.
That's
I'm just
true.
I'm watching too many fucking deep sea diving cave horror stories lately on YouTube, so that's also
Oh my God. Don't do that to yourself. All right, Andy, take us home with the final question, the most important question that Or will ever be asked
All
in his
right,
entire life.
I am gonna ask this question,
Mm-hmm.
but also with a twist.
With a twist.
With a twist. It's kind of funny how I'm gonna phrase this. Are you
Uh-oh.
ready? Are all of you ready?
I don't
Are
think
you ready?
I don't think I'm ready for this, but okay.
All right. Now I know you've heard the show before, so you may know what's coming, but we'll see. Andy or Steve?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Did I even
Oh.
ask a question?
It's kind of like the joke that my daughters love to tell. Well, it doesn't really translate. Well,
Yeah,
just
that
never-
aligns with my sense of humor of a little girl. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. How can I choose? I barely know both of you.
It's true. This is true.
Um,
That's what makes it so hard.
yeah. Uh, I've talked to Andy. So Andy, I guess.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Get on that Twitter DM machine, Steven.
I don't.
People
I've
will
done
like
it.
you more.
I've done it, but I've done it, and you've told me to get out of the conversations because I sandbag them. I go in there with my nonsense
It's like,
comments.
why do you inject your insanity into the conversation with your non sequiturs? I'd be like, so when you free for interview? He's like, I like pizza. Like, what?
What are the kind of reasons that people give for the choices for this question?
Sometimes like something in the background, like, oh, I like, you know,
Okay.
Bob Ross, so I'm gonna, you
right,
know,
I got my Bob Ross up
give
here.
Steven, or like,
Yeah,
I like Steven's hat today.
or
I like Steven's hat today.
thanks.
Well,
It's an Apex Legends hat.
Or like, Andy's a jerk. I want to pick Steven.
Yeah, or you know, Andy. Sometimes I don't have a camera that works, so you're like, oh, we see Andy, so we pick Andy.
He's human. We'll pick Andy.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this week. If you want to follow us on social media, we're at duel_screens on Twitter. I'm at Batchall27. Andy is at PantsGuy. Our Facebook group is facebook.com/group/DS podcast. Again, if you want to support us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/duelscreens. Is that right? Why am I? Yes. I'm sorry. I'm getting all my links messed up.
All the cobwebs are coming off. Don't worry. You did a great job.
We're doing it,
baby.
Cobwebs. Don't forget to wishlist Spiritfall on Steam. You could download the demo right now. You can check out Gentle Giant Games. They have a website. You just put that in your Google machine. You want to see what they're working on over there. And Gentle Giant GMS on Twitter. Or is there anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
Yeah, Spiritfall is gonna come out to early access on March 7th. It's like 3 weeks away. So everyone wishlist it and see you in the Discord server.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
Yes, Discord. We'll throw that link as well. We'll get the Discord link and we'll throw it in the show notes as well. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Or. Thank you, listeners and viewers. And as always, please be excellent to each other.